Good morning. Market Day Report is on the air. Okay, a couple of big reports coming out at 12 o'clock Eastern. We'll get quarterly stocks. We'll also get annual acreage numbers from USDA. This is a big day. All right, let's go to the markets. Where do we start? Corn, good place. And we see the December, which is the new crop, half penny lower, 426 and a half. We'll touch on this quickly. These are average estimates for the grain stocks. Corn number at 4.641, the soybeans at 980, and the wheat at 836. This is million bushels. As far as the acreage goes, the average trade estimate right now at 95.35 million acres, beans at 83,655, and cotton 9.73 million acres. So we've got that in the background as we look at more quotes here. November 1035 on the beans, that's up 10 and a quarter cents. Over to the wheat market, where the September is now the most active. Yes, the July is the front month and starts the new crop, but most active is September. It's higher here this morning. Hard red, half penny higher, 534 and a quarter. And we mentioned the cotton market, December down 58, 68.74. Let's go out to Whitehall, Maryland. Certified crop advisor with the mill, Ben Hushon. Ben, what's happening?
Good morning, Tony. Well, we have something happening in our community that doesn't happen too often in June. And I know it's only the last day of June, but the last few days we have seen combines rolling in wheat. And again, typically that's more of a July 3rd, 4th. But what happened, and I'm sure you've talked about it this past week, we had 95-degree days pretty much every day last week. Well, folks, that's like putting clothes in a clothes dryer and turning the heat on. It was fast drying. In fact, I talked to a fellow on Saturday that said we've caught 300 acres. We haven't even started the dryer yet. That's how dry the wheat has been. Now, you'll also talk to folks with different maturity wheats that are telling us it's bouncing anywhere from 13, 21, and again, averaging most of the time about 16 to 18, which is about where folks want to combine. Some will get started when it's at 20. Of course, at the grain elevator, when you take it to them, it needs to be 13 and a half, or they're going to charge you for drying. But a little bit of pessimism, and normally we don't hear that when combines are running. That's the farmer's favorite time of year. But a little bit of pessimism, Tony, because yields are not exciting and great concern. If you remember, we talked a good bit, several Mondays in a row about Fusarium head blight. Well, after the fungicide was put on, all we had was more clouds and rain, way beyond the ability of the fungicides to hold it off. So certainly some ugly wheat, some decent looking wheat, but not very exciting here along the Mason-Dixon. Hopefully next week I'll be able to share some broad numbers for you.
Yeah, Ben, thanks for that update. And speaking of wheat, we already know Kansas having some troubles as well. We'll take a break, be back in a moment. Market Day Report continues after this.